Right, how are you all? We're back again here. First little video, I just discussed different types of the guitars that we talked about, the Scarbox guitar, the fretless guitar, and also the Diddley Bow. So now we're going to crack on and make our own one. So if you want to make it at home, what I got here is just a piece of teak. I can guarantee you no furniture of any use was harmed or destroyed in the making of this guitar. You can find pieces of wood that might be left over from other jobs that you've done before, bits of furniture, things like that. So this is about 60 centimeters long, and that's going to be our neck, and also down into the body of the guitar as well. These little boards, this is chipboard, this is plywood, this is teak, and there's sort of just little bits of softer wood here as well. I'm not 100% sure what it is. But anyway, just be careful with the teak if you are using a drill, if you have been at different times. You always be careful with hardwood like that you don't go in really fast with the drill. Go in slow and kind of put into reverse. So when you are drilling out, it doesn't split the wood, okay? That's just a tip about using hardwood. So anyway, we'll crack on. If you can see here, I've already drilled in the screws, so I already did this. Okay, so I'll be screwing it in again now with a screwdriver. And I'm using, there's a magnetic tip in this. So that's a Posi 2. Kind of people call them Phillips, but this is the Posi 2 bit, so it grabs better into these screws. But what I'll be using is, they're 4x30s, okay? So they suit the Posi 2 head so it doesn't spin and damage the head on the screw. So I'll be using, I think, 12 of these 4x30s and one 4x15, okay? So I'll explain why I have one of those. So, what we'll do first is we're going to attach, just join these firstly. So I've already piled out the screws, so it should be quite easy now to do this. This will probably take a little bit quicker now that I've had them drilled out already, okay? So if you are making it yourself, it would take a little bit longer and you probably have a bit more joining to do, okay? So don't be kind of too, worried about that you might think, genius, this is taking me much longer than I saw on the video. So, and it's an easier way of doing it too. You can actually take it apart. We decided not to use nails and glue just to make it a little bit easier, and because I think everyone kind of generally speaking has a screwdriver in their house. So I'm just going to throw in these first and just put these sort of blocks on the end, and I'll explain how they're made in a bit. I didn't just basically magic this together. I was working with Mr. McLaughlin on this as well, so because I made another guitar and I've been sort of doing an awful lot of cutting and changing around things, so I went and I spoke to our local expert in the school, Mr. McLaughlin. He set me straight. So the idea of the way it's been cut and joined was Mr. McLaughlin's creation, so I'm not going to take all the plaudits for that. And so it's handy enough to be able to get, talking to a carpenter about that. So the reason why I'm putting them together this side is I want to try and line them up so that when I get the part joined in the middle here, that I make sure the right ones. So because when we cut them out initially, they might look very similar, but if you get the wrong ones in, it can cause you a bit of hassle, okay? So that's why I'm doing that first. So just take care if you are putting it together. If you take something apart, basically try and remember, even if you mark them off, left, right, top, bottom, that sort of thing. Okay. So the Diddley Bow, lads, just to give you a little chat about it, they kind of go back to I think the deep south in America, where people who didn't have a huge amount of money or means and wanted to make musical instruments, like they wouldn't have been able to afford to go into a shop. Those sort of instruments would really be only available for people who are wealthy. So they used a bit of creativity, and anything that they had left over, like petrol cans, anything at all like that. Like I'm using wood here, obviously, but the old oil cans, that's what a lot of them would have used, because it would have given it that kind of metallic sound. And they would have just used kind of old bits of wire or maybe old broken string off guitars. So there's a famous musician called Bo Diddley, and that's basically his name comes from his use in using the Diddley Bow. So a lot of the old blues musicians in the deep south of America would have initially started off playing on Diddley Bows and instruments like this, that they were homemade instruments. So there's kind of an interesting history to that. And I suppose a lot of the natural musicians that can, you know, who are self-taught would obviously not have gone off to music teachers or had the benefit of that, so they would obviously have a very inventive kind of style of music too. You know, it's a lot in the old blues players. So we're nearly finished this part here. So, and then we'll move on to putting together the front of the guitar. There's not an awful lot to it really, to be honest, once you kind of get going. It's just lining things up properly and making sure that you don't put the wrong pieces like back to front like that, because otherwise you might have to start drilling holes again. Okay, rightio. So that's the bottom of the guitar there, and you can see inside it. So now what we're going to do next is I'm going to line up the neck of the guitar there. So what I did for this, so I drilled out a hole here, and I tapped in the kind of base of a rivet, because that's where we're going to put through the string. Okay, and I drilled a pilot here. It's going to match up with this one here, and then there's another hole up the top. So what we'll do first is I'll just line this up first, and when we put this screw in here, it's going to basically keep this in place. So now let me know where to go. Whoop. My camera rig's nearly fallen. So let me know where for this to go now that it's in there. And be careful if you were to be using a drill, if you're kind of putting something together yourself at home, just make sure again that sort of slow down and reversing up the drill so that you're not splitting this timber. So now that's basically attached there, nowhere for that to go. Okay. You can put another one in there, put in there at time as well. So there you go. And so we can put another screw in here if I didn't get through. So just be careful, like I said, just to show you now, if you are hand screwing it, it'll need a little bit more it'll need a little bit more sorry, no, it's a little bit more elbow grease, so you might have to kind of lean down it a little bit like that. Just take your time twisting around. Sorry, no. The joys. I take it off this vibrating table and hold it up here off camera for a second. I wish I could pause this now and drill it together and go, oh, look at this magic, I did it with my hands. So anyway, there you go. Right, okay. Now, what I did earlier too is I drilled out 3 holes here. So that's going to, and we'll place that on top. So 3 holes either side here. So these are going to allow the, well, just for sound, so the sound can vibrate underneath, or sorry, inside in the guitar. If we didn't do that, I mean, you'll still hear it, but it'll just be much more of a just a hollower sound. It won't vibrate around inside it. Okay, so we're nearly there now, lads. It's this one side on here, and this one this side. So what you could do before you do all this, perhaps, is maybe give it a colour, or sorry, pick a colour or a design that you like to put on your guitar and paint it up nice, whatever way you want, and that way you'll have your own unique little guitar there going. So 2 more here now, lads, and then we'll be very close to stringing it, and that's going to be the mysterious part and the serious part, because I did put it together a while ago, but obviously I didn't put the string on it, because if you kind of take the string off, you might sort of bend it and damage it up at the top. So just the last screw here, and that will basically be our guitar. And so if it doesn't work, if the string doesn't go on, I'm just kind of thinking there, you might want to bring it outside. You can use it as sort of, tennis racket or something like that as well. But anyway, that is the guitar. Okay, so nice and sturdy there. And so the last screw I'm going to put in is a smaller screw up here. I'm putting in this small one, and this is 15mm long rather than the 4x30s. The reason why that is that if I go any further, it will go straight through the timber. So what I'll do first is I'll just give it a couple of little turns there first, get it into the wood. Okay. Now, what we're going to use to, sorry, no, that's in my pocket there. No, that's on the ground. No. Right. So what we're going to use for the bridge down here that's going to raise the string up a bit, and we can get so we can tension it. It are two 8 by 40 mil bolt and nut. That's going to go there, down there where the string's going to come in through the eye here, and one's going to be up here. Okay. So what I'll do first is we'll get the string in first. So what I did is where's my string gone? Where's it gone? And there it is. Right, sorry guys. Now, right, so I just got an old string because I didn't want to. I just want to recycle the string and see how it goes. So this is the third string. I'm not too sure to know 100% know what string it is. It doesn't really matter too much. If you want a kind of a heavier kind of a bass sound, you go for one of the heavier strings. But this is one, I think it could be the third string. I don't know, I'm not 100% sure. But anyway, we'll figure it out. So it's just a string that broke off an old guitar that snapped. So we like to upcycle things here in Lakeview. So I'm just going to thread it through here. Pull it all the way through. Okay, you can see it there now. So if we bring in our bridge in here, so see the bridge there. So down around here first, and so like that. Now we just tighten it around the screw here. Okay, so just give it a little tighten around like that. Spin it around a couple of times. Hold on to it like that, and now hopefully if we tighten this down, we clamp into it. The moment of truth. Is you going anywhere? No, I don't think so. No. Ah, he snapped it, did he? Ah, you did, right, lovely. No, there you go. There's a live moment there first, lovely. So I did snap it, okay. Perhaps I probably tightened it too hard. So anyway, it was working. I think I just basically, snapped it, right, okay. But because I am such a well-organised human being, I've got another one here.